Hello, Rama Pupodu. Hope all are in good health, feeling wonderful, great, having a happy and peaceful life. Now let's continue with author Osborne. After this, Osborne began to understand what the grace and blessings of a guru could be. It was this initiation by look that vitalized him and made him follow Sri Bhagavan's teaching of self enquiry, a quest for which his intellectual bent of mind was perfectly suited. Bhagavan poured his love and attention continuously on him. Osborne was very meticulous and regular, coming every morning and evening as he went deeper and deeper within. He fully understood what Bhagavan meant by saying that the only purpose of the outer guru was to invoke the inner guru. When he came to Bhagavan, he was again told by MacIver that Bhagavan was not a guru and he never gave initiation on accepted disciples. Osborne now felt that if Bhagavan was not a guru, there was no meaning for the word guru at all. Bhagavan had given him initiation by look, which transformed him and made him a disciple. So there was no question about Bhagavan not having disciples. The constant practice of self inquiry began to awaken an awareness of the self, and as Bhagavan outwardly and simultaneously as the self within. Osborne understood and said that the specious theory that Bhagavan was not a guru simply evaporated in the full radiance of his grace. This initiation and its consequences changed the course of his spiritual life. He could no more practice his earlier methods of sadhana. He was a little disturbed about this and sought Bhagavan's permission to drop them. Bhagavan gave it immediately, saying, "Yes, all the other methods only lead to self enquiry." The moment for the final decision came. He was staying with Bhagavan when the British government announced that all the released British prisoners of war in India would be accommodated in Britain with all comforts. The British High Commission sent letter after letter to Osborne about this. They did not even show these letters to Bhagavan to ask him his opinion. They were certain that they did not want to leave Bhagavan and go anywhere else. When the last ship was to leave India for Britain, the British High Commissioner sent a telegram to alert them. Mrs. Osborne told me that she did not even feel like taking this telegram to Bhagavan because it was already confirmed for them that Bhagavan was their sole refuge and that there was no other worldly life than staying with Bhagavan. But Osborne was a family man and had to earn a little money, so he got a job in Chennai as an editor in a reputed daily newspaper. Though he did not want to go, he had to. Before he left for Chennai, one of his friends gave him an oil portrait of Bhagavan. He took it to Bhagavan, who, holding it in his hands, said, "Osborne is taking Swami with him." That portrait, Osborne told me, looked at him with the love and compassion of a guru and spoke more profoundly than all the other pictures of Bhagavan. This adorned his room, and whenever he wanted to make any decisions, he would first look at that portrait and only then decide. Every holiday and free day, he would rush back to Tiruvannamalai to Bhagavan and his family. When he came, Bhagavan used to pay special attention to him. Once, after Bhagavan's second operation on his arm, Osborne came unexpectedly in some friend's car. Bhagavan was taking rest in the dispensary veranda. Usually, Bhagavan was discreet in showing outward signs of his grace, but this time, surprised by Osborne's unannounced visit, Bhagavan gave himself away. His face lit up with pleasure and love on seeing Osborne. He looked at him for quite a while with indescribable tenderness and grace. Mrs. Osborne and Bose, standing immediately behind Osborne, felt that they had never seen Bhagavan look at anyone in such a way. Osborne himself felt transformed. The graciousness of Bhagavan's reception melted Osborne's heart and awoke a feeling of guilt and gratitude as to how great was the reward for such little effort made. It strengthened even further the bond between this wonderful disciple and his guru. Bhagavan continued to bless Osborne to be deeply and steadily rooted within the heart. The purpose of the outer guru is to awaken the inner guru. The fateful day when Bhagavan passed away, Osborne was there. It did not fill him with sorrow. Instead, it only made him plunge within. He felt Bhagavan's grace more abundantly and his support more powerfully. Some days after Bhagavan dropped the body, Bhagavan appeared to him in his dream. In the dream, Osborne was in the old hall and Bhagavan asked him to come near the couch. Osborne went and knelt before Bhagavan, and Bhagavan put his hands on Osborne's head in blessing. When Bhagavan put his hand on his head, he had a feeling that Bhagavan was asking him to write about his direct teaching. He then wrote 7 articles. They were brought out later as a book titled Ramana Arunachala. Every one of us, every seeker should read this book. That was the beginning. Let's continue in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Pupoda.